Hello, welcome to this open ceremony of in the World Games Global Edition. Let me bring you to one of the most amazing customer experience specialists that found that the customer experience World Games is the best experience that you need to achieve. Christopher Brooks is here with us, the founder of the Customer Experience World Games. Welcome,
Hey,
Chris.
Rodrigo. Hey.
Well,
Hello, everyone.
how
Thank
are
you so
you?
much for coming along. Thank you.
Well, let me introduce Christopher Brooks. He is the founder of the World Games in 2020, almost 4 years ago. It happened the first edition of this amazing competition around the world. Since then, there have been a lot of different editions, some regional edition, and we are happy that after 2 years of waiting this global edition, we're back. So, Christopher, um, all yours. You have here all the players that are going to be participating for this time. I think we have amazing teams, we have amazing judge and amazing captain. So this will be a really nice edition.
Well, thank you, Rodrigo. And I was talking to our keynote speaker a couple of minutes ago. We were just reminding ourselves that customer experience is about how you can improve the outcome of others. That's the primary focus. And obviously, within our working days, many of us are helping our own organizations and helping other commercial organizations. But it's equally but there's equal potential for us to actually make a difference to society, and that's what we found with the customer experience world games is we're going to set you 3 challenges like you've never seen before, and these are real challenges from charities from different parts of the world who, like you with your organizations, need help with the experience to improve it, either for their donors, for their volunteers, or for their beneficiaries. And by doing that, that can remove some friction or make the experience better. They can increase their contributions, increase the care that they give, and make society a big, better place. And the Customer Experience World Games is a wonderful canopy. It's like a great big tent. We can all come into it and enjoy this together and make a contribution. We can volunteer our time, bring our talents, but when we come to the table, and you'll find this in your teams, and I'm so pleased with the captains we've got this year. Within your teams, everyone will bring something slightly different, and that's because they come from different geographies. They come from different sectors. They've got different perspectives, different years' experience. They've all been challenged within their organizations, so had to find ways around it for customer experience. And that means we've got this rich diversity of talent, and bringing those together is like nothing on earth. It brings an amazing group of people who have one objective, and that is to do good. When you come to the games, there's no sense of what can I get from it. You will find invariably, as many people have told me afterwards, that they do get an awful amount back from the games, but in ways perhaps that they didn't expect to receive it. But in playing the games, what you're actually doing is contributing to make a difference in society. And someone actually said to me, it is the world's largest social customer experience impact experiment, because that's what it is. This is just a volunteer group. We're not even set up as an NGO or anything. We're just a volunteer group. So when we come out and say, please join us and take part, we wonder whether anyone will come. And yes, they always do. We now have over 900 players registered from around the world. And I think in this games alone, there's 120 by the time we start. And those numbers will go up. So thank you so much for coming along. We're really, really grateful. We hope you enjoy the games. We hope you get as much from it as you put in. And we hope you really see the benefit and the power that customer experience can have for society. We've got a great opening ceremony here. We've got a couple of people for you to meet. We want to meet the captains, and I think we've got an incredible keynote speaker who's been a supporter of the game since the start to hopefully give you some motivation. But once again, I'm just so grateful you came along, and we really hope you enjoy it. We've been doing this since 2020. We now have regional versions as well as global versions, but we are still learning. So if you have feedback, things don't work as well as you'd like them to, or got ideas in terms of how we can improve it, please bring them to us. We've now set up a steer co to make sure that we keep true to our purpose. There is no commercial engagement at all in these games. We do this purely on our own time. Everything we use, we kind of borrow to make good. So therefore, if you've got ideas to feed in, we've got a steer co who will help us assess. Yeah, that's a good idea. We should do that to make this go forward, because we want the games to be much bigger than any of us individually. We want it to be a movement that continues to help and reward charities by supporting them for the good work they do. I think that's me done, Rodrigo. I hand back to you because I know you've got a busy agenda.
Thank you very much, Christopher. So with this, let me tell you that we today we have an amazing keynote speaker. He he has supported since the beginning, and I'm going to introduce to you to Nate Brown. That he's right here.
Hello.
Hello,
Hey
Nate.
guys. How's it
Welcome
going?
and thank you. Thank you for being with us in this open ceremony. It's really an honor to have you here.
Oh, well, thank you so much. I've seen amazing people in the chat over here. Hey, Beth. Hey, Charles. Hey, Michael. Hey, Michelle. Hey, Sharon. Hey, Sandip. So good to see all of you today. It's wonderful to be here.
Amazing, Nate. I think. Well, I'm going to read some comments that are going to arrive after your presentation, if you want. So we can go on time. Nate have some specific presentation and time to share with us. So I will leave you players with the master of masters with Nate Brown. So all yours.
Amazing. Thank you, Rodrigo, and welcome everybody to the CX World Games 2024. This is such an amazing example of collective genius. I have loved these games since Chris initially cast the vision for me 4 years ago, which is amazing to consider. And it's just beautiful what this represents. What we get to do together here is truly in the nature and in the spirit of customer experience work. And I think it's just a great intrinsic motivator, a match lighter for us each year to keep us centered and keep us focused on how powerful this work really can and should be when we do it together with one another. So thrilled to be here. Thank you, captains, everybody, for jumping in and investing your time and energy into this. We know everybody's so busy. And so the fact that you would carve out time, donate time to be a part of this, it means so much to us. So my name is Nate. I am not an expert at this work. I'm very, very much a student, and I'm learning something new every day. So I work for a performing rights organization called Broadcast Music Inc., and I'm responsible for creating a new CX team that's supporting the artists. So it's so fun getting to do that. These artists are incredible. These artists and these composers are creating beautiful, wonderful works, life-changing works for people, and we're making sure that they get paid. So it's very important, and I'm getting to use CX skill to make that happen inside of this organization. So it's been a wonderful year for me, and just trying to invoke that curiosity that I've learned from these games in years past and bring that into this new role has been really good and exciting for me. But I'm just learning all the time. And my absolute favorite thing about these games is how much we learn from one another and the varying perspectives that we get. I just remember the first year that I participated as a player, and just being blown away by Dre. Dre was our team captain, and just some of the tools and some of the perspectives and techniques that he brought in and that he leveraged in those games, it knocked my socks off, and I've used some of those since. So I hope that same thing for you as well. So I do want to leave a couple quick thoughts, and I'm not going to spend long, this morning. I know we have a lot to do together in this opening ceremony, but yeah, I have felt like customer experience is a little bit under fire, and in a lot of times the shots are coming from within the ranks in terms of customer experience people almost kind of giving up and be like, hey, this just isn't making the difference. I don't know what to do anymore. Maybe I need to try something else, in terms of doing a different type of work, and that could be, but I'm just so convicted that there's still something very, very powerful here, and it is troubling, when you could throw a rock and hit a headline in any direction in terms of, oh, CX programs are doomed to fail, and it just isn't sticking, and executives are leaving CX behind for some other buzzword, and Like, no, no, CX is not a program. It's not an initiative. And yeah, if we think about it that way, it is doomed to fail. It's so much bigger than that. If we think about CX for what it is, it's helping companies deliver on their promises. It's helping change the thoughts and minds of our customers towards a brand so that we can earn loyalty and learn how we can serve them better. That doesn't end. There's no finish line to that. And it's really not something that we can carve out to be its own independent little function. CX can and should be breathing life into the business. But in order to do that, we have to bring a bit of a different mentality to it. And there's some barriers that are out there that are holding us back right now. And so in the chat, what do you think is the most deadly barrier to innovation? And you can even think about it in terms of customer experience innovation. What do you think is that barrier that's holding us back more than anything else? I would love to hear that. Hey, CX Jedis, love CX Top Guns. Top Gun is my absolute favorite movie. Very cool. Rooster repping for CX Top Guns. Love that. Good stuff, Dave. Yeah, well, thank you for those chats. Fear of failure. My goodness, Ellie, that's profound. Yeah, fear. Absolutely. Um, Good stuff. Too much reliance on metrics. Gosh, we could talk about that for hours. Yeah, I mean, great answers on these. Complacency. I love that as well. There is a word that I've been seeing, and I'm going to reference a favorite work of mine called "Prime to Perform." So, what I believe is the most deadly thing. These are all wonderful examples, but inertia. Inertia is what kills. I think more than anything else, this idea of we're just kind of in a rut. We're just going down a path. And our human brains are wired to minimize the energy we expend. We're looking for shortcuts. We have these supernova highways running through our brains, and we just want to follow the same path. And what this requires, and what we get to do in the CX games, is to break the pavement, break some of those connections, and create some new neurons that have an opportunity to form in different ways. And organizations are the same way. They've got those same supernova highways running through, and we as CX leaders have to break the pavement to help people to think about our customers and each other in a different way. And we get to do that through some wonderful intrinsic motivators. And the number one is play. It's a sense of curiosity and excitement about work. So my goodness, we're getting to play. These are games. So keep that spirit of play in these games. Be smiling as you're doing this. You might get a little stressed when some deadlines are coming up and some things are going on, but remember, you're volunteering here. Keep that sense of curiosity and excitement alive as you get to serve these folks that are doing really wonderful things. But inertia, keep that inertia word in mind as we think about some mentalities I want to leave you with. I feel like this is kind of our current CX mentality. Is kind of a funny. I just did an AI image here, but sometimes we're stuck in the mustache stage of CX, and it's time to move forward. And I'm going to leave you with a couple mentalities in hopes that you can forge a new connection and help to usher us into a new era of customer experience that is more successful, honestly, that sticks better and that serves these organizations better so that people aren't sitting here wondering if CX should even really be a thing. We shouldn't even be thinking about that. We should just be performing the work better and better. So the first mentality I want to leave you with is CX leaders as servant challengers. Now, I absolutely love the word challenger, and I see it come up again and again. It really started with Matt Dixon with the challenger sale and continuing on into the challenger customer, another great work. But it didn't stop there. Radical candor, care personally, so we can challenge directly. A challenger is somebody who has this confidence and desire and ability to push the boundaries of the status quo. In other words, break inertia, that most deadly thing, in a world where most organizations are crippled by inertia. This ability to cultivate challengers is a rare superpower. So that's something where, in these games, we can find, because we're collaborating in a unique and special way here. And sometimes we get to break bad habits that we have in our day jobs and see things differently. And so I'd love for you to be a challenger and push the boundaries of the status quo that maybe have been holding you back in your quote unquote day job for a while now. You get to break those mental patterns in the games and bring that newness back and see things differently. But as we think about like the original circle of psychological safety, starts with inclusion. I'm part of a team. I'm safe here. Then I get to start learning. My tendrils of curiosity come out. Then I start to contribute. I'm safe enough to where I'm going to start to insert my own ideas. But then the last stage, challenger. We can push status quo. We can suggest things be different. We can push, we can put pressure in a good, edifying, healthy way, even on leaders above us. And that is in the spirit of CX right there, is cultivating challengers who are able and capable of doing that. Yes, I love that comment, Sharon. But it's not simply enough to challenge. And so that's why, especially as we think about the work of customer experience in these games, what are we doing? We are serving others. We are helping others to guide them to success. We're not the hero of this story, to use that story brand metaphor. The customer is. So we get to guide them, we get to serve them on their journey, but we still need that challenger mentality to be able to do it really well. But there's some traits of servant leaders that we get to bring into this that are so good and wonderful. We're not just challenging to break glass, we're challenging so that we can be even more effective in honoring others, inspiring vision and breaking the rut, breaking the pavement, and selecting newness and freshness and excitement over status quo and over inertia, choosing ethics over profit, helping others to move forward, growing people before we're performing tasks. What a cool thing to think about there. Focus and flexibility before top down decisions that are being forced. Serving with humility before marching in with egos, and then lifting other voices and ideas. And what a great one to leave off in these games. I mean, we get to lift each other's voice up. There's no hierarchy in these games. We get to be forgiven of that. We have our captain, but that's it. We're equals in this, and we get to support one another in a really good and powerful way here, which is so cool and exciting. So when we bring these two things together, we've got our challenger mentality, that confidence, desire, and capability to break inertia, but we're layering on the servant piece. We're doing this for something bigger than ourselves. We're doing this to do good, which is the theme of these exact games. So think about that servant challenger mentality, how you can have that not only here in these games, but as you bring that back into your quote unquote real life as well. So one more mentality: CX leaders as community builders. There's a pandemic of isolation that's out there, folks. We all know it. We all feel it. Our U.S. Surgeon General put out a major call to action in a report called "The Epidemic of Loneliness." There are pockets of loneliness that are out there, and I really believe that CX leaders are uniquely equipped to bring people together in special ways and unite them and give them a sense of identity through the brands that we know and love. Like, we get to do that. We have a mentality and a skill set that's especially good for that. And CX is simply, really, at the end of the day, we're ensuring that the organization's delivering on its promises. And so I was thinking about this last night, and I threw this on last night. The more important the promise, the more important the experience. I mean, how cool is that to think of, right? And these charities that Chris has selected and Rodrigo have selected, and the team over here, the steering committee have selected, are meaningful charities, like really important. So that means what we're doing is really important. But that's another thing too. I mean, that's kind of a match lighting mentality. Your organization has something unique and special about it. Like, you do something better than anybody else in the world can do. And so often we lose sight of that. And so when you think about the importance of that promise that you're making out to the world, that should motivate you as a CX professional. I'm the keeper of that. I'm the defender of that promise. And not just me. Like, I'm giving that away. I'm helping everybody in the organization to defend that promise because it matters. And the more the promise matters, the more the experience matters for the people that we get to serve through it. All right. Um, another thing I was thinking about last night: we can't be all things to all people. Have the courage to find your group of customers that you can serve better than anybody else, and bring them together in true community. And I've been blown away by Belonging to the Brand by Mark Schaefer. He's the same person that wrote Marketing Rebellion, which predicted the absolute decline of traditional marketing, which has totally happened. He says that community is the last and the next great marketing strategy. And really, by extension, customer experience strategy. When we can bring customers into community with one another around the meaningful purpose of the business, but helping them to have a sense of identity and helping each other to fulfill the promise of the organization, magic things happen. So with these charities, what we're creating are communities of people that believe something strongly. And that's meaningful. That's exciting. And so we get to do that as CX leaders. But the last mentality I'm going to leave you with is CX leaders as friction fighters. It's still real. I mean, the effortless experience, it's not a new thing, right? I mean, it's been, that book came out in 2011. Can you believe that, you all? It feels like just yesterday that book kind of almost in some ways paved the way for our profession. But an older work now, but it's still so true. And the outcomes of that concept of friction fighting are still so real for us. And I've just been thinking more and more about how much language matters here. And I've been helping various organizations to create like something like a code of a friction fighter, because the language of CX can be very isolating. Sometimes we speak in all of our acronyms, and we just try to bolster the CX program and kind of our little pocket of CX, and that can be exclusive to some folks. What we're trying to do is bring people into the work of CX. And so the language we use really matters in that. So we want to take the personality of the brand and think about, how can I make somebody excited to reduce friction? How can I make somebody excited to defend the promise? And so something like this of the code, a code of what a great guide looks like, guiding the customer to their definition of success, that can really help, bring people into the initiative with you. So language matters because it changes our mentality, and that mentality is going to give birth to new behaviors. At the end of the day, that's what the experience is created through: language, mentality, behaviors. Good stuff. And I don't know if you've seen, I mean, there's a wonderful index out there called the Simplicity Index. And organizations who are excelling in this area of easy to do business with are absolutely lapping the S&P, the Dow, the DAX, whatever index you want to look at. If you want to find success as an organization, be easy to work with and deliver on your promises. It's as easy as that. I mean, there's no better metric of success. I mean, that's helpful for us as CX professionals too, right? Because a lot of times it's hard for us to really define our value. And so sometimes when we put it in the context of simplicity and effort reduction, we can find a new avenue to being able to prove how meaningful the work is to establishing and earning loyalty for our customers, and earning the right to grow the organization by honoring those customers is the greatest asset, as Gene Bliss would say. Good stuff. Love these comments, by the way. Goodness. I wish I could stop and read a lot more of these. So this is it. This is my final slide here. As you navigate these great games, it's kind of a summary slide, but I want you to remember these principles, maybe even write these down. This is what I wish for you. Break negative inertia. Have the courage to break inertia. Be a challenger. Be a challenger in that way. But as you challenge, keep the focus on service. Why are we challenging? I'm not challenging for me. I'm not challenging for my own legacy, not for my ego. I'm not challenging for the buck. I'm challenging because the promise matters. And so we are ultimately defending the promise, and we are fostering curiosity in that. We're awakening new perspectives. We're breaking pavement for people and bringing them into the work in exciting ways. And we're building community as part of that, building community around the brand promise, but giving people a meaningful sense of identity in that, and then fighting friction. But most of all, have a blast with this. Like I said, keep a smile on your face as you work on this. Nobody's getting paid here. We're doing this to learn, to grow. So keep that in mind. Give that gift to each other, because we know how translatable energy is. So let's make this a game of serotonin, that community chemical where we see good things happening. We see other people serving other people, and we catch that. We catch that, and that's something that we take for ourselves, and that continues on when we create it. So games should be competitive, and there's going to be a little dopamine. but let's make this a game of serotonin where you are encouraging one another, you're honoring one another when you see good ideas and good things happening. That will make these games more meaningful for everybody. Yeah, and we appreciate you. So thank you again for making this happen. We so appreciate your time and your wisdom and your energy in this. It's going to be an awesome year. Let's get to it.
Thank you so much, Nate. Your your presentation was amazing. Your words has, well, from what we have seen in the comments, has had an impact, a real impact on the players, and hope that is not the is only the beginning. And I think hopefully it will be the beginning for something more, something bigger. And well, yes, the World Games belongs to all of us, and together we achieve so much more than our those are words from Christopher's that
Mm,
he posted in the chat. So I believe also I am with him that this is a community that belongs to us. It not belongs to Nate, to Chris, to some specific person. So thank you so much for this time, Nate. We 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 really appreciate. And I think the players also really appreciate your comments.
no, thank you, Rodrigo. Thank you, everybody. Have a wonderful rest of your day and a great weekend. It's Friday.
Finally, see you, Nate.
See ya.
Well, now let me bring the we're going to present the judge, the captains, and after the captains, we hear some words from them. We're going to have some Q&A session, and also to present how is going to be working this year, and what are the method, the criteria of the evaluation. So that will help to us to to resolve maybe some question that the players that you already sometimes have. So if you give me 1 second to bring the presentation in the meantime, I'm going to post some of these comments that are arriving, uploading. 3, 2, 1. Hmm. Technical problems. Okay, great. Well, uh, I'm going to bring the names of the 4 captains. Maybe they already contact you. If you don't have the team assigned because you sign up this week, today after the ceremony will arrive to your emails. So then there's no problem. All of you that are already registered are going to be participating without without any problem. So we have this year Fatima, Kim, Christopher, and Sharon Boyd. I'm going to invite them to hear some of words from them. And well, here we have the 4 amazing captains for this year. Welcome all. Thank you very much for being with us. It's really a pleasure to have you this time, and the players are going to love you for sure. I hope. No, I think yes. You're a great leader. So if you we have some minutes, like 1 minute per person. Sharon, I think we can start in order as the you appear
One at the
in the
top.
screen. So you can start, Sharon. 1 minute. We have about your talks. What do you expect for this edition?
Yeah. Hi, everyone. I'm Sharon Boyd, Chief Experience Officer at MetaB and MKLCX. I've been lucky enough to be doing this for 4 years now, involved in these games, and I'm a huge advocate of the power that you see with an initiative like this. Is just so inspirational. So this is one hell of an opportunity for all involved. So collaboration with other experts in CX from 40 countries. I mean, that is just amazing and counting because we know more is going to be added. And to use our collective knowledge and experience that way to some good. to help charities with real life-changing challenges. I mean, you don't get to do that every day. It's just awesome. But to be able to flex your muscles, your CX muscles, in a way that you don't get to do day to day is just a fantastic opportunity. And the buzz around it's great too. Nice bit of healthy competition. So I think my parting words to the players, just to echo what Chris has said, because you can't really reinforce that enough. The more you put in, the more you'll get out. So really just put your all in. Obviously, we've all got day jobs, but the more you can put into this event, you will just get so much out, whether it's your network, CX tools, or just knowing you've made a real difference to those charities that they've put the missions forwards from a CX for good point of view. It is one hell of an opportunity. So grab it. Lastly, good luck to the other captains, because I think you're going to need it. CX Top Guns to win.
Thank you very much, Sharon, for these words, and all yours, Fatima.
Hi everyone. I represent the CX Navigators. We're really excited. We're a fairly new team. Most of us have either joined for the first time or have only done this once before. So we're all excited to navigate this together. I really resonated with what Nat was saying earlier about serving and serving other businesses that have these challenges. And I really loved what he said about fostering curiosity. And I think some of the side conversations that we've already been having in our team is we're all really excited to have these meaningful conversations, to really understand what are these genuine challenges that these organizations are having, and how can we, in our worlds of CX that isn't always necessarily front and center, but these challenges help us see how our skills and how our knowledge can really help to assist these companies and change lives. And most importantly, you'll get to know me. I'm pretty loud and I love to have fun and laugh really hard. And that's what I hope we all do together. Thanks, everyone. And let's go CX Navigators. I can keep vamping. I can keep talking for a little bit longer. We've lost Rodrigo, I think.
Should we go to Kim?
Yeah, I think, Kim, do you want to take over? Maybe Chris, can you try?
Sure. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm Chris Story. I'm based here in the United States, just outside of Boston, Massachusetts. So it's morning for us. I work for a food company in the CPG space, and I'm super excited about the games. And I participated in the past mainly because it's humbling, right? We get to hear from so many other CX leaders and thought in experience in the technologies they use. And I think, we tend to operate within our own space. And this gives us an opportunity to learn from others. It's humbling, but it's also intense. So past experience has been that the games brings intensity as the teams work on that 1 week deadline for each of the challenges. And those challenges demand a really high degree of planning and execution by the teams. So most of all, for me, the CX World Games are rewarding. We make new friends across the globe. We learn from one another. We leverage our talents for the betterment of a charity or a social cause. So I hope everybody has a really great time. At the same time, be scared. It's okay. Raise up everyone's voice. That was great by Nate. Lift other voices. I resonate with that. And then lastly, I do want to thank Christopher and Rodrigo, because their time, talent, and the countless hours that they dedicate to making the games a success is just amazing to see. And they've done it year after year. So cheers, guys. And go experience Transformers. Yes.
Hi, I'm Kim, CX designer at Old Mutual, Cape Town, South Africa. And I'm the captain of the CX Jedis. This is my first time playing, so I'm not sure what to expect. But I do like a bit of competition and playing the game. And then why I'm here. So CX is just exciting stuff. And I'm hoping to learn from all these Jedi masters in my team, in the other teams. It's not whether you experience new, old, young. Everybody has different perspectives to bring to the table. And that's what makes it so exciting. And we're doing it for good. I mean, to know that your actions, your time, all your ideas, there's meaning. There's some good coming from this. And then may the force be with you all, but obviously not as much as with our team. And that's me.
Rodrigo's still not back yet. Sharon, I think you've been doing this the longest. Do you want to maybe talk a little bit about your previous experience while we have the floor?
Apologize. I'm
All
back.
years.
Apologize. Too much internet connection fails. Okay. I'm not sure if you had time to speak. So 1 minute. I think yes. Well,
Yeah.
We got it covered.
thank you very much, and apologize this for this. Well, thank you very much for being with us, Chris, Kim, Sharon, Fatima. The best for you, for your teams, and if we are going to be supporting you for the next weeks for this challenge. So I'm going to present quickly the evaluation criteria to share with the players who hasn't been in another games. Okay, thank you very much again, captains. Okay, so then, uh, oh, the captains we have a judge, or this year we will have 9 judges that will be with us, and we are going to keep uh, posting them during the week in the LinkedIn page, so you can know them and you can contact them if you want. But I hope that you don't contact them to say, "Hey, this is my team, the best team of the world," because I know that you are the best team, but they need to be objective with their evaluations. So in the next in the next topic, um, there will be three different challenges with three different geographies. The first is going to be from Mexico. We are going to launch this on Monday. You will have Monday morning. You will have the challenge in proper way in your emails. You have almost 1 week to present the challenge, and this is going to be the deliberate template as from the previous games. We have been working in this small piece. You need to summarize everything so the judge can be can is able to read and to understand the proposals. Of course, you will be able to add extra information, but imagine that the judges have not that much of time, and he or she will need to review in 3 4 days each entry. So please, let's summarize. I remember the first or the second edition, we received an entry with 60 or 70 pages, and it was quite difficult to evaluate all 70 pages in that at that time. So be aware also of the time of the judge. What are going to be the criteria that we are going to have? Two things. The first is, what is the reality that what is the probability that this can be real? There are some examples. For example, there's if your solution, your proposal is, I don't know, that the owner of the challenge needs to contact with some company, but nobody knows that company, or nobody have the contact of that company. Well, that's quite difficult. But if, for example, I have a friend, or you have a friend of somebody that works in that company, okay, maybe through this person can contact this company. That's the factor of the reality. And the second part of the evaluation is of according to the challenge given, what was the solution that was proposed is against the challenge or is against something else, because also this will be part of the evaluation criteria from the judge. And some how the winners will be defined. Well, there will be the average of the points, and according to to it can be that one team win 2 challenges, but if at the end the average of the average, it can that team can become the second place. This is only as an example, because I want to let you know sometimes we had some specific topic with the judge, but in general this will be the definition of the winner and the champions. If you have some question, also you can ask in the chat, and I will try to respond before we finish, because we are run out of time. And at the end, this is the calendar. You already have the package of the player. We are going to start on Monday the first challenge. You have 1 week to deliver it, and the day after you deliver, you receive the second challenge. In the meantime, we await for the judge evaluation. We hope to publish on Sunday or Monday the results of and the feedback from the judge from the for challenge number 1. So then you can have 1 or 2 days to do some amendments if you want, or if you need, for the entry of the second challenge. And that will have is going to be the same for the challenge number 2 and 3. And finally, the closing ceremony will take place in July. So, is there any questions right now? Maybe let me check the private chat. Okay. If from all of you players, do you have some questions for the World Games? I think if not, we are on time. This will be the first. This will be recorded, and I will share with you captains and all the players that weren't able to come. And as last, maybe here is coming one question. As last thing, Christopher, I would like to bring you and
Sure. So just
official.
a big thank you, Rodrigo, for pulling this together and putting it on for us. A massive thank you to Nate for carving out a really motivational presentation, and he really does embody the spirit of the game. So that's something. When you look at those who haven't played before, there is a pack called the Spirit of the Games. Please have a look through it, because we like to share everything in the spirit of progress within the games, which means every single entry that we receive is handed over to the charities, so that they will then, whilst our judges will look at them, they will also find things in there that they can optimize as well. So do make sure that you receive it. Do you receive feedback on a challenge? Absolutely. We will give you the exact wording that the judges have given for each of the challenges, and then we'll supply that back to you. And I know that it's been very helpful before in understanding what people have done and what they could do better. So we'll make sure we hand that back. There's access to the backlog and the vault of challenges we've got previously. So if you want to get access to things that have been done before, you're welcome to have a look at those as well. Yes, Mike, good question. Can players join after kickoff? We find new players do come in, and that works really well, because obviously we'll have some players who may find that as the games go on, they don't have the capacity to support anymore. And we do find that the energy builds, especially if we keep communicating on social media through and hashtagging Customer Experience World Games. It just makes sure the energy goes there. And our ambition is to get as many people and as many ideas involved, because it just gives the best possible chance of getting an amazing response for the charities. So do give everything you can. A big thank you to those captains as well for not just talking today, but for especially Sharon setting kind of this positive competition that we have. It is important. We want you all to succeed, but there will be entries for some of the challenges that the judges think are better equipped to deliver the answers that we need. So do work on that kind of positive competition. It really makes it quite encouraging when it comes to the quality of the submissions we get. And on occasion, we do get the charities as well to provide us their favourite answer as well. So there's many prizes to be won as we go along. But we're about to kick off. So it's just with great pleasure, I say, for the Customer Experience World Games 2024, the World Edition. Let the games begin. And best of luck to all of you. And I wish you well. Do keep in contact with your captains. Do put your ideas flooding through. And we can't wait to see what you do as a community. Thank you so much for coming along, and really hope you enjoy these games.